Are you ready to start your raiding journey? Yeah. Have you made at least 30 mil from picking flax? Yeah. And are you a motivated go-getter of the RuneScape community? Yeah. Welcome to how to do a 300 invocation level ToA in under 30 mil worth of gear. Here are our invocations. I'm not going to discuss them too in depth, just know that the setup lets you take maximum supplies while still keeping the rooms fairly easy. Here's our gear: Atlatl darts and matching furry outfit, Dragon Defender, Cockring imbued, Zamihasta, Fury, D-Boots G, the ornament kit is required, and Barrow's gloves. In the inventory, your best backpack, mine is green, cause Blue Moon, chest and legs, Trident of the Swamp, Book of the Dead. 2 combats, 6 Sarahs, way too many restores, and a Sandfew for your rooms where you get poisoned. Burning Claws for specking down melee bosses and the Obelisk, Dragon Dagger for the Warden core, and Bone Dagger for lowering the defense of melee bosses. You can spec Baba, Kephri, kind of, and if you really want to, Zebak, as well as P3 and P4 Wardens to help with your damage on the Atlatl. That all being said, it's not super necessary. If you'd like the inventory slot back, by all means take it. The order we do our raids is BKAZ, or Baba, Kephri, Akkha, and Zebak. If someone else told you otherwise, they lied to you. They're there, it's okay, I'm here for you. Baba being first means that the first wing we have to enter is the Joe Rogan podcast. There isn't a lot to say about Monkey Room. It has been repeatedly nerfed and battered into the ground to where it is solvable by anyone who understands the combat triangle. Here's your quick rundown. Drop 3 potions on the ground, pick up a hammer and a potion. If there's a monkey skull on the pillar, click on the pillar. If there's a monkey skull over the vents, stand on the vents and click the potion. While you're doing this, waves of monkeys will come out. Red monkeys, green monkeys, blue monkeys, monkeys with IBS, pregnant monkeys, and jihadi monkeys. Kill the red with mage, kill the green with melee, everything else with range. The jihadi monkeys blow up when they get near you. Walk 1 tile away to avoid the explosion. Fun fact, they forgot to turn friendly fire off. Feel free to use this to your advantage. Once the monkeys stop spawning, you can move to the next room. Baba is arguably the simplest boss. Pray melee and stab her. She's going to drop rocks on the ground, and she's going to drop babies on the ground. If the baby's got a pulse, then we got a problem. Shoot him dead. Baba will throw a rock at you periodically. Stand near the rocks on the ground or near a coffin to null the damage. At 66% and 33% health, she jumps to the top of the room and sends you sliding back. Don't stand in this part of the room. Jagex thinks one-shots are funny, so if you slide into this pit, you will die. Switch to your range gear. Look for the boulder with father issues, I mean the one that's broken inside, I mean the one that's broken on the outside, and shoot the one that's broken. Once the boulders are done, you will repeat everything I just said 2 more times, and Baba is dead. Kephri, you solve a bunch of puzzles in this room. Choose a door, solve the puzzle, and hop to the other side. Go through the door, solve the puzzle, and hop back to the other side. Go through the door and play matching tiles. Honestly, just download the ToA Utilities plugin. That being said, if you are some kind of evangelical anti-plugin purist, then here's a quick rundown of the puzzles. Attack the pillars and find which order they're in. Memorize the order of the lights and stand on them in that order. Classic light puzzle here, and then read the tablets for a number, figure out what the symbols add up to, and then step on those symbols. Couldn't fucking tell you how to figure this one out without a plug, I'll be honest. Kephri, much like myself, after 4 beefy 5 layers and a pint of absinthe, spends her time shitting all over the floor. Step 1, stab her. Step 2, get pooped on. She's gonna poop on you, signified by the swarms of bees around you, sending you flying back and creating a wall of shit. Step 3, the miracle of life. She spawns babies from these eggs. The babies' eggs will explode when they hatch, so don't stand near them. When the babies come out, start praying range to null their damage. And step 4, avoiding the explosions. For the entire fight, either her or her lackeys will be sending explosions down on the ground. See the shadows? Don't stand in them. Once her shield reaches 0, she will create a friend. Pray range. Kill her only friend. Notice all the bees flying towards her and recharging her shield? If you have time after killing your friend, kill them too. Repeat steps 1 through 4. Now her friends are going to be a melee and a major. Kill the mage first and then the melee. You do not need to pray against the mage. If the mage charges all the way up, it's gonna hurt. While you don't have to pray protect mage versus the mage beetle, you should pray protect melee versus the melee one. Once he's dead though, switch back to praying range to protect yourself from the babies around the room. Again, repeat steps 1 through 4. Once her shield is drained, she'll send you flying back. Repeat steps 1 through 4, and she's dead. Congrats. We are at the halfway mark. There is a friendly spirit who gives you free shit. In no particular order, this shit is Cerebrews, Super Restores, PCP, Funny Bug, Pure Colombian Snow, and of course, Come. Whatever your selection is, make sure it has the Colombian snow. This boosts your stats a ridiculous amount and will make the rest of the raid easy peasy. These salts will always be in power, and sometimes they will be in chaos. Pick whatever you need. If you are really, truly hurting for supplies, you can take life and get salts next time we come back, but it'll make the next two bosses very, very slow. Alright, next is Akkha. Puzzle room involves placing mirrors to get the laser beam to hit this shield here. Mine some walls, place some mirrors, and when the shield gets hit, mine the center pillar. Repeat as necessary. Akkha has also gotten nerfed repeatedly throughout his existence. The fight is as follows. If he's praying melee, you pray melee. If he's praying range, you pray range. If he's praying mage, you pray mage. Always attack with that ladle or whatever your best damaging weapon is. When he prays against it, move to the second best damaging weapon, in our case, the Zamihasta. When he's at 80, 60, 40, and 20% health, he will summon a shadow. Kill it. After it's dead, this becomes a safe quadrant. You have to be attacking Akkha in this quadrant in order for him to take damage, and you have to be standing in it or you will take damage from periodic shockwaves. Akkha has two special attacks. The first one, she's going to turn you black.
You are being detained. What? What? Look at you, dude. Come on.
If this is the case, don't move. The second one, she will move to the center of the room and flash symbols in a random order. Once 4 symbols are flashed, stand in them in that order. For example here, he disappears and flashes the yellow sign, so I move to the center in the yellow quadrant, then black, then yellow, then black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow. After I hear the explosion, I click. Once she dies, he will go back to 25% health, and start what is lovingly known as the cum phase. He will teleport around the room after every 3 hits, stab her with your melee weapon, and dodge her cum. 2 bosses left to go. Zebak Puzzle. Pick up a jug, run to the fountain, fill up the jug, pour it on the tree, repeat. If you get stabbed by these guys or step in green shit, you will drop some of the water you're carrying. If the thirsty boys reach your tree, kill them. Zebak is jad but wet. These jugs shoot out mage projectiles, protect mage. These rocks shoot out rocks, protect range. Zebak has 2 specials. 1, he spits out vomit and summons waves. Don't stand in the vomit, don't get hit by the waves. 2, he spits out vomit rocks and jugs. Roll a jug near a rock and shoot it, or roll a jug right into a rock to make it explode. When it breaks, it'll splash out water, clearing the vomit. Stand behind the rock before he roars. He will do each of these specials twice. Finally, Zebak does do blood magic throughout the fight, and it comes in 2 forms. 1, he summons tomatoes. As we all know, tomatoes are not real food, but coagulated water in disguise. Do not let those filthy things touch you. Alternatively, he will cast blood barrage on you. You can see his little paws cast the blood spell. Isn't he cute? You can switch to protect mage to protect against it. Otherwise, if you've got too much going on with the projectiles and don't want to think about it, the damage can be mostly ignored. Final boss time. One last pit stop before we go in. If you grabbed salts before, grab life now. Make sure you have salts for this fight though, so if you grabbed life because you were low on supplies, you need to take chaos or power here, or this fight will be excruciating for you. Alright, boss time. Sniff the salts, talk to the ghost, and stand on this side of the pillar. You will start taking damage because you are blocking these little skulls from reaching the Warden on the left side here. It's not an exact science, but stand here until your HP reaches anywhere between 75 and 85. While you are tanking this damage, if you have a blue potion, drink it now and start dumping claw specs. The faster this obelisk is dead, the happier we are, plus claw specking 6 times in a row is super fun. Once you're done tanking the orbs, run into this general area. Notice the red pyramid coming down. Don't stand under it. Wow, a yellow one. Don't stand under it. Next, you're going to eat some balls. Nothing you can do besides drink your Sarahs and bite the pillow. Keep dodging the pyramids, slapping the obelisk, and choking on balls until he's dead. Phase 2, put on your mage gear and attack the Warden. Pray mage against the skulls. He telegraphs this by sticking his arm out. Pray range against rocks. He telegraphs this by pounding his chest. While you are hitting him, he will do 3 specials. Laser light shows, windmill of peace, and skulls. For laser light show and the windmill, you simply do not stand in the red stuff. You can see here that I had these 2 tiles marked for easy dodging, but honestly, you don't need this, or any other tiles that you might come across on the internet. Just don't stand in red stuff. The skulls require a little bit more thought. They fly out randomly. Notice the shadows on the ground. When they hit the ground, they explode and expand outwards into a 7x7 square. Either run away from them, or stand 1 to 2 tiles away from them in any cardinal direction. In addition to those specials, he will turn off your prayer and fire a big projectile. A blue ball, you pray mage, a red sword, you pray melee, and a big arrow, you pray range. Pretty self-explanatory, really. And finally, he can shoot one of these things at you. If it hits you, it freezes you in place for a few seconds. Alright, so all of those mechanics will be happening in tandem with you, hitting the boss, and him auto-attacking you. Once his yellow health bar is fully charged, he will spit out his heart. Put on your melee gear, get out your dragon dagger, and spec the heart until you're out of energy. Once you're dry, switch to your Hasta and start poking it. Eventually the heart's going to go back into him, and you're going to do everything that we just talked about, except this time, you're going to attack him with range instead. Every time you finish a cycle and his heart goes back in, you switch between attacking with mage and range. Alright, once his heart reaches 0, you have reached phase 3. We're almost done, folks. Hang in there. As a quick little break, I'd like to remind everyone that you do not need to memorize all of this. After writing that section for phase 2, I realized how much shit gets shoved into some of these phases, and even I got overwhelmed talking through it. I can't imagine relearning it as a noob again. I'm going to be timestamping this guide down below, so when you're sending your first raid, take a break before the boss, re-listen, get the gist of it. And of course, there is no greater teacher than experience. It's okay to die in here. Hell, it's okay to make it all the way to the final boss and then die. I've done it, and sure, it sucks, but I walked away a better player. I believe in you. You can do it. Alright, let's take this home. Phase 3 is where people get most scared. They see insanity on the invocations list and they immediately shit their britches. I get it. I lived in the middle of fucking nowhere for a long time where my shitty Midwest Wi-Fi would ping spike and I would just die as a result. It scared me shitless to go into an insanity. But now that I have a wired Ethernet connection, I can confidently say it's not nearly as scary as people make it out to be. Come on, hold my hand, and let's learn together. Equip your Eclipse gear. Start on the right side of the room, he will pull up the left. Move to the left side of the room, he's going to pull up the right, and now stand in the middle. He will pound his fists into the ground and lift up both sides. Notice my tile markers here. Feel free to mark them for yourself when you get in there for the first time. If you really want to practice, just move back and forth for a while without attacking him. Get a feel for what you're going to be doing for the next 5 minutes of your life. Right, left, middle, right, left, middle, right, left, middle, yada, yada, yada. Okay, at 80, 60, 40, and 20% health, he is going to spit out some skulls. Remember which side of the room he last flipped up. We will need to know that for later. Switch to your melee weapon and click on all of the skulls. Once all of the skulls have been stabbed, the skulls fly back into him for big damage. Alright, now listen close. This is the other part of insanity that scares a bunch of people. What was the last place you were standing at? Do you remember? That's right. I was on the right. So once the skulls go back in, where should I stand? Right, left, middle, right, left, middle, right, left, middle. That's right. After right, we go left. If you forgot, which Lord knows I do all of the time, run to the back of the room like I am here and watch his animation. He will telegraph where he's going to slam. Alright, let's keep it going. More skulls. Look, a crocodile. You're now going to do everything I said before, but just praying against Zebak jugs or Zebak rocks. Let's keep it going. More skulls. Look, a monkey. Now you're going right, left, middle, praying against Zebak jugs, and dodging Baba boulders. Honestly though, the boulders are a non-issue. You will always be moving, and as long as you aren't standing on the same tile for too long, you're not going to get hit. Let's keep it going. More skulls. Keep on smacking the boss, and finally, we are at P4. P4, he heals back up to 25% and will slowly start pulling up the tiles of the room, all while shooting a lightning down on the ground. The lightning comes in groups of 3. 1, 2, 3, and then a break. 1, 2, 3, and then a break. Now, normally I wouldn't have had to tell you that, because he will generally die before you reach the dreaded last row. This is a 30 mil budget guide after all, and honestly, if you're doing it with this kind of gear, you should have been expecting this. The trick to surviving on last row is when you see the third group of lightning growing, click on it when the shadow reaches its biggest size. All of this while you're praying against Zebak jugs and dodging Baba boulders. The only advice I have for the boulders is do not go back to the tile you were just standing on. It is better to get zapped by a lightning than to eat a Baba boulder. And if you have a Bofa instead of Eclipse, hopefully you'll never have to get here. But it is better to learn last row and never use it than getting here and not knowing what you're doing. That being said, if all else fails, you have the most important item in the raid. Come. You have 4 doses of White Potion, which overheals you to 125 HP if you're 99. That means if you're at 1 HP and drink all 4 doses of this potion, you are getting a whopping 496 HP worth of healing. That is almost 5 fucking health bars. This will be your saving grace during your first few times last rowing. I am by no means an expert with last row, and in this run I got extremely unlucky. I was able to sit here for a whopping 3 minutes, and even with all the damage I took, I still had a dose to spare. Alright folks, that should do it. You've got enough knowledge to get into ToA and get some KC in just about 10 or so minutes of yapping. If you have more than 30 mil, obvious upgrades are Bofa and a Fang. Shadow is obviously the best mega rare to bring in here. I might have some higher gear guides later on, depending on how I'm feeling, but when in doubt, gearscape it out. I hope you enjoyed the guide, I hope you learned at least something, and I hope you have many more purples in your future. Love you. Bye-bye.